Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are tackling a massive topic, artificial intelligence. Seriously, it's everywhere. So we're going to deconstruct it, from the super complex ideas that make it tick, all the way down to how it's already popping up in your day-to-day life. All right, so let's just jump right in with the question that's on, well, pretty much everyone's mind right now. What is artificial intelligence, really? Is it some kind of super genius robot? A voice in the cloud? Well, the answer, it's a bit more complex than that, but trust me, it's way more interesting. Okay, first things first. The most important thing to get your head around is that AI is not one single thing. It's not some all-knowing brain in a box. The best way to think about it? It's like a massive toolbox. It's a huge field filled with all these different tools and techniques, and each one is built for a very specific job. So, to really understand what's in that toolbox, we've got to go down to the engine room. We need to look at how a computer, how it actually learns. And this is where things get really cool. Right at the very heart of almost all modern AI is this idea called machine learning, or ML. Basically, it's all about teaching computers to learn from experience, from data, kind of like how we do. It's a huge shift from the old way of programming where you had to tell the computer exactly what to do step by step for every single task. Okay, so one of the most common ways this works is something called supervised learning. Let's make this simple. Imagine you want an AI to spot people wearing green shirts. What do? Well, you feed it thousands, maybe millions of pictures, and for each one, a human has already tagged it, green shirt or no green shirt. The AI just churns through all of that tagged data looking for patterns. After a while, it gets so good that you can show it a brand new picture it's never seen before, and boom, it can tell you if someone's wearing a green shirt, all by itself. But that's not the only trick in the book. There's also something called reinforcement learning. You can think of this one like training a dog, really. The AI tries something, and if it does it right, it gets a little digital treat, a reward. If it gets it wrong, a punishment. It learns through trial and error. And then you have the big one, deep learning. This uses these really complex, layered systems to find patterns in huge, messy piles of data. We're going to come back to that in just a sec. So, I just mentioned deep learning, right? And I bet you've also heard the term neural networks thrown around. Well, people often use those terms interchangeably, and there's a really good reason why. See, a neural network is a system that's literally inspired by how our own brains are wired. You have information that comes in one side, the input layer. It then gets passed through all these middle layers, they're called hidden layers, where all the real processing happens. And finally, you get a decision or an answer out the other side, the output layer. Each little point or node in this network learns to look for one specific thing, which is how the whole system can tackle these incredibly complicated problems. Okay, so with that foundation of how AI learns, let's look at how this builds up into different specialized fields. Think of them as different careers for an AI. Yeah, so you can think of these as AI specialists. You've got natural language processing, or NLP, which is all about teaching AI to understand human language, both written and spoken. Then there's computer vision, which lets a computer see and interpret images and videos. Robotics, obviously, gives AI a physical body to interact with the world. And then you have expert systems, which are designed to mimic the decision-making of a human expert in a very specific area. And if you want a great real-world example of this stuff in action, just look at pro soccer. The English Premier League uses computer vision in its VAR system. It can track the ball in real time with insane precision, determining if a goal was scored with accuracy down to a few millimeters. It's pretty amazing. All right, so we've covered some of the theory. Now let's bring it all home and talk about the AI you're probably using every single day, and you might not even know it. The AI that you interact with usually falls into one of three big buckets: conversational, generative, and predictive. First up, conversational AI. I can pretty much guarantee you've run into this one. We're talking about the little chatbot that pops up on a website when you're shopping, or the assistant on your phone, like Siri or Alexa. But here's a key distinction. Even though they both talk to you, there's a big difference. A chatbot, like on a company website, is usually a narrow expert. It knows a lot about one specific thing, like your order status. But an AI assistant, Siri, Alexa, Google Assistant, that's a generalist. It's designed to handle a huge range of different questions and tasks. Next up is the one that's been making all the headlines lately: generative AI. This is the really mind-blowing stuff. You give it a simple prompt, just some text, and it creates something totally new. It could be an essay, an answer to a tricky question, or, hey, maybe even a bunch of cool logos for a new business idea you have. And the range of what this stuff can create it's just wild. We're talking prose, poetry, incredible artwork. And it can even write actual computer code in languages like Python or Java. It's a huge helping hand for developers. And last but not least, we have predictive AI. This is the AI that is constantly, and I mean constantly, trying to guess what you're going to do next. You know when your phone suggests the next word you're about to type in a text? That's it. Or when Google finishes your search query for you. Yep, that's it too. It's also the engine driving all those online shopping recommendations. You know the drill. If you bought this, you might also like this. That's just predictive AI looking at what millions of other people have bought and making a pretty good guess about what you'll want next. Okay, so with all this amazing power, it is so important to remember one thing. AI is not perfect, not by a long shot. In fact, sometimes it can get things really wrong. Here's a weird question for you. We always assume AI is on a one-way track to getting smarter and smarter, right? But what if I told you it could actually get dumber? Because believe it or not, the answer is yes. There's actually a name for this. It's called AI drift. This is what happens when an AI model starts acting in weird, unpredictable ways. And it's usually because it's been learning from bad or just plain wrong data. This isn't just theory either. In 2023, researchers actually found that ChatGPT had gotten worse at answering certain types of math and medical questions compared to how it performed just a few months before. Really, it all boils down to a classic old school saying in computer science that just nails the problem perfectly. Garbage in, garbage out. It's that simple. And that leaves us with a really big, critical question. AI is, without a doubt, one of the most powerful tools we've ever built. But it's not foolproof. The biggest challenge we're facing isn't just about making AI smarter. It's about making it reliable and trustworthy. So the real question is, how do we build a future where we can actually depend on it?